This is what I put up with. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Box to Blizzard Bash, our series on the Traxxas RC cars.
Video number 2.
Didn't I tell you that everything had to be above your knees? People can't see it. There you go.
We're still here.
That's as far as we've made it.
Absolutely.
Because we told you we were going to show you pretty much every step.
Yep.
So, Adam had mentioned the most important part, and I guess that's what we're going to talk about right now.
The body.
The most important, I've never actually built one myself. Why? Because I got a crackhead that...
I gotta get a new name.
that enjoys making them, so as long as he enjoys making them, I'll just keep paying him for them or trading stuff or whatever.
We built a lot of bodies.
Even he says we now.
We as a team. We are a team.
We
as a team.
Done a lot of stuff. All right.
So we can show you materials. You're going to need some certain things and kind of a general rundown of how to do it.
Tools?
Tools for sure. There's a million different ways, I'm sure, to build an RC car body. To me, I keep one thing in mind, and you probably shouldn't. I want that shit to look cool.
Which is why he builds them, because he wouldn't tolerate letting me build them. Because really the only rule that most places have is they don't want it to look like a shoebox. They don't want you to just take a piece of metal and shove it over the top of the car that's below your knees.
But what's the strongest shape?
A box.
A box. So it's kind of tough to get away from that.
So, as you can see how we've decorated here a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
They've come a little ways. This is kind of a design, I don't know if you can see that on there, but kind of a design where it's got windows, it's at least, it kind of looks like a car.
Sure.
So they don't want you to just take a square and plop it in place. So, Adam wants them to look like old iron.
Old iron cars. It's a lot easier to come up with an RC old iron car than it is a full-size old iron car these days.
A whole hell of a lot cheaper.
Absolutely. Well, it depends on who's making it.
Fair enough. Let's start with the material.
Aluminum, or aluminum as some people say.
Who the hell says that?
Me. This is your standard, I'm not even going to say what thickness it is. I'm pretty sure it's 2.4, but I'm not 100% sure. This comes in a roll that's like 3 foot tall and weighs like 50 pounds. You can get it at any of your home improvement stores. It's roofer's flashing, so it's just aluminum. This is just a piece. It's much bigger than this. White on one side, tan on the other. I've got some that's white and green or brown and green.
Never mind.
What?
Never mind. Continue.
So,
Children's show.
Get a roll of this. It's like $60. You're going to have $60 worth of fun. Trust me. So, aluminum is what we make the bodies out of. So you start out with a big sheet of that. And, well, here's a great example. You start drawing a car on it. Now, the cool thing is you will draw your car perfect the first time on here and cut it out and not be able to do it a second time. So what I suggest is make a paper template. So I have some of those that I keep in my secret box.
Ooh.
Yes.
Like Pandora's?
In case we got to make a new body panel at Derby. So this is just very general. I literally took a picture of my full-size Vic and laid it out and said, you know what, I could draw that on a piece of paper if I wanted to. So what I did was I took, there you go. Can you see that on there all right? We couldn't hear you if you said no. So this is the side of a car. That's really the only thing I had to draw. Everything else, once you make 2 of these, it can only really fit one way. So draw yourself a nice little template, put it on your aluminum, trace it out. You can actually cut this stuff with... Are
you going to have, what, 5 pieces to put a car together? You're going to have 2 sides?
2 sides. You got a roof. You got a hood. You'll make bumpers. You'll make a trunk. Yeah, you can have a ton of pieces. A roof sign, a halo bar.
I was just talking about the body, but somebody had to get carried away.
So your standard, I think I got these at Dollar Tree for $1. These actually don't struggle at all cutting through the aluminum. So they make turns pretty easy. You don't have to get too fancy with those. So one little trick I like to do is I will take the car just like it is, put this on there, and of course you're not going to be able to see this well, but the idea behind it is you can see where your opening of the tires have to be. So make your wheelbase right off the car. Just lay it on there, draw 2 circles, and now you know that's where I got to cut out for the front wheel and the back wheel. And then you just kind of draw the pieces around that. So you can make, I've got some here. Here's a hood. So it's not really too fancy. This is one that I was practicing on. But I cut out a square, and then I took, some people call these duck bills, whatever you want to call them. There's nice little 4 or 5 inch benders. Clamp them on there, and you can put some sweet body lines in it so that it is not a box anymore. It actually makes it really rigid too, so that's pretty good.
And
pretty good stuff.
That's not a must. You don't have to make it look like that. They say you don't want it to look like a shoebox. Right. If you have a separate hood, you're already going farther than making it a shoebox.
There you go.
Just because Adam's a crackhead doesn't mean you have to be. You can
think about how a real car is made. There's a fender. You can see where I drew it with a Sharpie, and I laid my wheels out. I cut those out first, so now I know exactly what it's got to be. Check your rules. Usually they can only be a certain length and a certain width, so make 2 of these first. You can actually take them. I have smaller wheels on my cars. Look at that. It pretty much fits right over that. And then I always leave some material on top you can fold over, and that will actually go on your body pins there and there. So you've made one side. Make another one. Once you've got 2 of them made, you can take your hood and put it on there.
How do we put the pieces together?
Absolutely. Good question. Drill, battery, and drill bit.
I can narrate. I can come up with questions.
Don't screw it up. Ooh, that was a good one.
Ooh, wow. Yep.
Rivets and a handheld steel riveter. 9.5 inch, comes with 40 rivets, $5 at Walmart.
You're going to need more than 40 rivets.
Yeah, you're going to need a lot. So we actually, that's what this little case was. You get 500 of them in here for like $13. I buy mine at Menards. They're the 1/8 by 1/8 aluminum rivets. These work great. I haven't had any issues with them pulling out. Easy to find drill bits that size. 500 of them usually last me about 2 bodies.
You don't have issues pulling out?
Not with rivets.
All right.
My slider does. Now, this looks like a crazy folded up piece of metal.
It is.
It's because that's exactly what it is.
Actually, that was supposed to be a trunk?
This is a trunk. So, think about it as a real car. This would mount right inside of here, just like that. And whenever it's all put together and you get hit, this is eventually folds and folds and folds until
it's packed in.
Just like a real car. It's kind of neat. It's not a box anymore once you do this. You can get super crazy with the design. You can come up with all kinds of different stuff. Practice, practice, practice. That's why I buy such a big roll of aluminum to start with, because here it is. One of the main things, your 4-point cage. So this is 3/4 by 3/4 aluminum angle iron. You can buy that at any hardware store pretty much.
Angle aluminum.
Yeah, angle aluminum.
Angle iron.
It's not angle iron. Angle aluminum. Now that we're getting technical. I put mine together with self-tapping screws because this stuff is so thick that those 1/8 inch rivets don't hold it together the best. You can get a little thinner material. It will bow. We've had one body that's actually been to both sides in.
It's up here somewhere.
Up there somewhere, yep. So this is your cage. You'll drill 2 holes in the front, 2 holes in the back. Those go over your body spacers too. This was made for a little different size car. So I like to build that and put it on, and then I'll take my body pieces and actually make sure that it all lines up. Get my wheels where I want them on there, like so. And bolt it all together.
Rivet it all together.
Rivet it all together. And once you got that,
you've got a body.
Yeah.
You can damn near go derby.
You
can use the factory body mounts and just your regular pins. They make aftermarket stuff.
Yes.
Most places you're allowed X amount of aftermarket parts, and that's one that I would personally recommend just because these things are a pain in the rear, and they actually aren't usually tall enough once you get to where you figure you've got that 3/16 angle, and then the body, actually 2 layers of body. It's kind of hard to get a pin to go back through there. So,
right. So they make these little aftermarket. I won't show you the whole thing, but some neat little pieces. So these all go together. It's got these little screw-ins. They just slide through the top. This gets replaced over top of that. You can already see how it goes together. I think if we're high enough.
If you just take a minute to look at everything, I mean, it's all so easy to take apart.
It really is.
So
we'll get into more detail on that when we get close-ups of our cars that are being built.
So that's what it takes to make a body. If you have more questions, shoot us a message. I say us, I'll make sure that Adam responds to that one. Go on to our new One Goose Garage Facebook page. Y'all asked about it. Not many of you liked it, but I only snuck it into the comments on a couple videos. So, next, what are we going to talk about next?
Let's talk about...
We're going to actually show some done complete products?
Let's do some parts, and then we'll show you some done complete products. So, parts that we switch out and how easy it is to change them. If you need more help with the bodies, go on to Etsy and type in Billy C. Leaworth. That guy is awesome. He creates some really cool stuff. He's got wagons. He's got old iron looking cars. He's got taxi cab looking things. He's got videos on YouTube as well. Specifically for RC Demolition Derby. There's a couple other people out there have Facebook pages that sell the bodies already made. We don't really do it right now just because our secrets are our secrets.
Yeah, you can't have his box, but you can buy some from that guy. Or if you want to just buy a complete body, Aaron
Streblow.
Is it Streblow?
That's what
I don't know how to say your last name, so I will put a link on there to your Facebook page or whatever you've got access to, so that people can just come buy them from him. It's like $50.
Yeah, something like that. He ships them right to you as well, so you can be anywhere in the United States, and he will build the whole body exactly the way you want it. Send you pictures the whole time. He is awesome. I actually suggest that for your first one, so you can see how they go together, and you know whenever you show up, it's going to be legal.
That helps. That's going to be on the next video. We'll get some parts, pieces, some complete products, all that good stuff. We appreciate you following along. As always,
get goosed.